Alright, it's VW time. So I got this nugget a couple of months ago, maybe start of the year-ish. Besides some very, very, very bad rust, hasn't failed me yet. The gearbox works so far, and the engine actually runs like full ball. You can rev it and everything. It actually goes really hard. I love the way it sounds. Especially because this exhaust, this isn't actually stock. This is got, I believe it's called a GT exhaust. I'm not 100% on that though, but it sounds beautiful. So obviously, long-term project. Got a shit ton to go, but today we're gonna start with cleaning up the engine. It's very murky, like musty. Sorry, you know how you get all the oil and grease and it picks up dirt and it goes muddy. So give it a spray down, and then next will be a carby rebuild. After that, we'll move away from the engine. We'll go on to doing the heater channels of the Beetle, which actually have to come off. That's the way you get your heat through the engine and to the heaters, and so they're like sort of hollow tubes there. So take the full oil pans off, take the heater channels out, replace them, do some rust repairs, and then from there, so on, paint and stuff. So, yes, let's start. Alright, so first thing to do is take all this tinware off, so it's just slightly easier to carry, because we're not going to do it here. We're going to carry it over to the grass so we can make a mess. I guess this place is already a mess, but it doesn't really matter. It's just easier, more space. So take the tinware off and then we'll do that. So by the way, just while we're still getting ready, just a bit more information. This body is a 1963 Volkswagen. This engine, though, I believe is from a 71, I think. It's 13cc dual port, which do actually exist. They're European engines, so down here in Australia, they're actually really rare, and I'm pretty sure it's the same case in America. I've had a lot of people say, oh, they don't know about the 13cc dual ports, but yeah, so I think 71, which they're also in Europe, or England specifically, I think they had GT Beetles, and I'm pretty sure this was the year before the GT Beetles, as the GT Beetles had a dual port 16cc, I think. So anyway, just a bit of information. Anyway, let's get this tinware off now. Alright, the first thing to do to get this piece of tinware off is undo, what would you call this, sort of like harness to hold it together. I'm not sure if this is stock, but this one happens to be a 10mm, so we'll just go out with that, and I'll get back to when I'm done. Alright, so I just got the alternator clamp off, and now I gotta take, the pulley actually comes apart. That's how you get your belt off. So you got the washers and spacers, usually so you can adjust like the tightness of the belt and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I got to do that now. So one more thing is, there's actually this little hole here where you can put the screwdriver in, and it is like a little divot there. So while you're spinning the bolt or the nut, it doesn't move the pulley; it stays still. So that's a little cool piece of engineering, I guess. So after you loosen it, you can already see the belt's lost tension. So take the nut off, and then you take this off, and you should see two spacers here, which we'll just put it here.
You keep track of that.
Yep. Take the pulley, top part of the pulley off, and then you have three spacers in between the pulleys. So got to keep track of all your spacers and make sure it goes back together properly. And if you're doing this yourself, don't forget to take off your coil. Obviously fucked around with my coil, got this here. But don't forget to take your coil off, especially if you're cleaning it down. You don't want to damage the coil. So we've gotten it off now, but we're gonna get the fan out and stuff so we can clean it properly, So we'll do that now. Just need a flathead and it should come out. Alright, so got it off now. Got your fan. Doesn't actually look bad. There's not a lot of rust in here. Fan doesn't look bad either, so should be, hopefully you don't have a lot of rust.
I think it's a later model one too, because of the blades. You see the number of blades?
Yeah. A lot of blades, very good for cooling.
Very, very good motion, there's no...
And it's stable too, it's not unbalanced.
Yeah, it looks good.
Anyways, now it's moving on to this tinware, which you have to take the fuel ports off for. Right, now we're going to take this back piece of tinware off next. You just got another flathead. And it should come off pretty easy. This is sort of guard for your flywheel, keeps good airflow. All this tinware is here for a reason. It's for best airflow to cool the engine best, but there's other reasons for them too, so just get these off and then we move on to these little things, which actually requires the fuel ports to come off, so that'll be a bit of a pain, but we'll get there. So if you're doing a similar thing to us and you are redoing your tinware or whatever, have to take your engine apart, if you're going to clean, obviously as you go, you want to block up all holes there are, like we have on the fuel pump. We're going to take the carby off, so you're going to have to block that big hole and stuff, and we're going to leave our dizzy in, but maybe we might put some tape around just to seal it, just in case, but it should be fine. Anyway, just an important thing to remember, you know, you don't want to mess anything up in the engine. Okay, now to do your carby, you're going to need a size 13 spanner. I've actually got this spanner bent, so I can use it in more interesting places on the Beetle, as the VW's actually used the size 13s a lot when it comes to nuts and bolts and stuff, so you'll find it comes in handy, and I've already got it loose, and after it's loose it usually just comes off by hand. So to get the carburetor off is actually fairly easy. You just got these two nuts, you got one on the back as well. Right, just shouldn't drop them into your engine, but to get them off, carby just comes off real easy. So alright, so we just got the carby off, we've taped it all up, blocked it off. Next now is to take the ports off, but you can either just take the ports off if you're just doing a clean of the tinware, but for us we're going to re-clean the whole fuel system, so we're going to just take everything off all at once so we can give it a paint job and clean down. So we're going to take the whole fuel system off and then the tinware. Before you take your carby off, it's also important to remember to unplug all your hoses, as I just did then, and after that it should just come off. Just place it somewhere safe, and if you're gonna take a couple of days to fix up your engine, whatever it is you're doing, like I am, this is be a couple of days project, you'll want to keep it somewhere safe, probably tape it up as well. Obviously you got your gasket, it's only a makeshift gasket though, because last time we put the carby on, it came with the carby off the engine. We just want to see how it runs, so it worked all okay, but we'll probably get a proper gasket now. But yeah, pretty simple to get it off. Yeah. When it comes to the dual ports, once again you got the size 13 to take off the nuts. I'm not sure about the single ports, I'd say they're the same, but yes, so once again, coming in handy, you need your size 13 for almost everything. Now, if you're wondering what these are, this reuses the exhaust to the fuel, and it actually heats up the fuel, so it makes for easier combustion. Now these are actually a size 10, so you can give your size 13 a little rest for now, and they should come off pretty easy. Right, once you loosen everything else, you'll want to, if you have the dual port, single ports have them as well, but they're different. You'll want to loosen these, obviously, so you can get the rubber off, and then your ports should come off if they're not stuck on the metal. There you go, like that. Ports come off now. Get a nice look at them. Maybe the inside, not bad, you can't see much, but definitely need to clean up. And then take your rubber off as well. I'm not sure if they did this stock, but one thing I found really handy is before putting the ports on, we grease them up so they come off easy and go on easy, so that's really handy for your seals. One more important thing to remember is this bolt here. What size was it? It was 13. Again, once again 13. Need to loosen that so you can take the whole thing out. Oh, there's your whole fuel system. We'll just place that here. Oh, manifold, intake manifold. Yes, so got everything out now. You just gotta, block your fuel port holes and stuff, but pretty much ready now. Just take the tinware off, give it all a clean, and yeah. Now for this last bit of tinware, once again you got the flatheads, but yeah, that's all. And then get the tinware off, and yeah. Once you take them off, obviously you get a very good view of what's going on with your cylinders and your head. Pretty clean actually, surprisingly, considering their age. But it's always good to give them extra wash down. They once they're loose, they usually slide out. It's a bit hard sometimes, but yeah. There you go. Big piece of tinware. We'll put it over with the rest. So far we've got everything done. We just need to move it over to the grass now and start to give it a bit of a clean. So originally there was like a heater insulent here on the exhaust, and we just took it off and found out it was fiberglass. So there's fiberglass everywhere. I'm wearing masks now obviously, but I think it's mostly gone. But big puff of fiberglass just went in my face. So I mean, if I don't know, in the next hour I should be alright. So we just continue. It's time to clean everything up now, a bit of a spray down and stuff, and yeah, that'll be it for this video. We'll have another video where we'll do the rest of the tinware and stuff. Right, well that's it. That's the end of the video. So if you enjoyed, I'll have more shit coming soon. Obviously next video, do the tinware, we'll clean that up, repaint it maybe possibly in that video, I'm not sure. But I'm not sure when the next video will be because holidays, I'm doing other shit. I know I'll get another video on that small 1-cylinder engine, but I'm not sure about the Beetle. But we'll get there eventually. So anyways, see ya.